terrorist groups in Kashmir seem to have adopted a new strategy. Reports are suggesting that the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the Hizbul Mujahideen, have recruited up to 20 to 25 locals in South Kashmir. This is coming in as infiltration channels are drying up. Local youth are being lured into terror in order to use them to subvert the election process.
It's opposite the Kashmir region are about 200 awaiting infiltration at the launch pads. And as of now, the snow levels aren't much of a hindrance. So all that I wish to tell you is that the counter-infiltration grid with all its elements in its entire robustness is there, and we should be able to respond to any challenges of that nature.
Right, sir. And one more question linked, sir. We've seen that in South Kashmir, especially Pulwama, Shopian Belt, Avantipura, there are reports that recently as in the last 2-3 months, even during the flood time, there are young boys from these areas who have joined militant ranks. Is that worrying for you, considering that somewhere down the line now, these militants, because infiltration is getting difficult, they're trying to recruit local blood, which of course will be a lot easier for them, and of course they also know the local area. So how worried are you on that particular aspect, sir?
Well, certainly any youth joining militancy is very disturbing, and especially the educated, when they join, it is still more disturbing. So that is something that all of us have to, sit up and take care about, and it is so important that the youth be kept away from this, and which would require a lot of good programs that empowers the youth, helps them, in achieving their rights to grow and prosper in life. So that's so important.
Well, Mir Farid is reporting on this. Farid, this is a disturbing trend since in the past few years, essentially the number of local Kashmiri youth who join these terror groups has been on the decline.
Well, yes, initially after the first phase of insurgency in the 90s, more or less these terror organizations were dependent on foreign militants coming in and keeping the pot of militancy boiling. And there was local youth, they could not really get into the terror fold. They were more, these youth were more interested in education and were trying to be economically independent. But this time around, very recently, this dangerous and disturbing trend has come forward where in certain areas of South Kashmir, these young boys in the age group of 18 to 24, even 16, 17-year-old boys are getting lured into militancy. They are being taken into their fold by Lashkar and Hizbul Mujahideen, indoctrinated with the jihadi philosophy, provided weapons and made operational. Now this as recent as in the last 2-3 months, in fact even during the flood time, these militant organizations were active recruiting these young fertile minds, basically impressionable minds who have been lured into militancy. And of course one reason for that is the infiltration channels have dried up. There are not a lot of foreign militants who have managed to come in, and in fact during elections they needed to get operational, so they have got these young boys into the fold. One important reason also for that is that they know the local area, so once they provide them with weapons they can immediately be made operational. So this is something very worrying for the security agencies. They have already started their job on this. So there is search and combing operations that are on in South Kashmir, and also importantly the families of these young boys are being contacted, and the reason for their joining these terror groups is being found out. But yes, a very disturbing trend, and that too when the elections are on the corner, and this really has the security apparatus worried in the valley.